Hey guys, what's going on? Warshack here, or Rob, and today is super exciting. BlizzCon Day 1. They dropped the next Hearthstone expansion. It is going to be the Rastakhan's Rumble. I'm surprised I even said that correctly the first time. I know throughout this I'm going to destroy that word. So if you just hear me call like the Rumble, just assume I just Rastakhan. I'm just calling it Rumble. You guys know what I mean. I want to say I'm super excited. But I'm not super excited necessarily because there's not a lot of cards that came out yet, so I'm not excited of the cards, but I'm excited where this is taking place. It was one of my favorite locations of World of Warcraft. Stranglethorn Vale, for most of us, was really cool. It had Booty Bay, it had the Gurabashi Arena in it. Hopefully I'm saying that name correctly as well. And in that arena is where this Hearthstone expansion is taking place. And in this arena, normally you have your factions of Horde and Alliance. And in this arena, it was everybody versus everybody. You could kill your own Horde people. You could kill, obviously the Alliance people. And the last one standing at the time that the arena, was ending, you won. You were the champion and you got some pretty dank loot from it. From what I remember, it was a really long time ago that I, was doing that kind of stuff in World of Warcraft. But it is something that I thoroughly remember on like Stranglethorn Vale, Booty Bay, Gurabashi's Arena, that dank tank good shit. You know what I'm saying? So the location of where this is taking place is, in my opinion, going to make this expansion very, very flavorful. If anybody played back in the days of Journey to Ungoro, that was a really flavorful expansion. For those of you who remember the meta, remember the cards, I mean, it just added a lot of spice into things. So hopefully this expansion does that. Based on what I've watched at the BlizzCon, it's going to be a lot of trolls, a lot of Loa, hopefully I'm saying that, a lot of spirit animal type stuff. So without further ado, I know you guys are like, Rob, you just talked way too long. Where are the cards? Hold on. We got our card review here. Switching the scenes. Boom. High quality content right there. First card we're going to take a look at. Holy crap, 1 second, card review, 3, 2, 1, Tiger pops up, boom, Shirvala Hala 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 the Tiger. I know I messed up the name, so we're calling him the Tiger. He's a 25 mana Paladin Beast card. Holy crap, that's a lot of mana. 7/5 in stats, so pretty solid. Let's look at his agenda. He's got Divine Shield, Rush, and Lifesteal. That's a picnic of abilities. Cost 1 less for each mana you've spent on spells. As we know now, we think of Paladin, spells, we look at equality, right? We look at Consecration, Spike Ridge Steed. There's not really a whole lot of other, maybe Blessings of Kings, right? But those are all in between 2 to 6 mana spells. It's not like Warlock where you have Siphon Soul, Twisting Nether, even the Rin seals. So it's interesting. Where does this fit in Paladin right now? I have no idea. Control Paladin doesn't exist. There's the OTK Paladin, but most of the Paladins are now Odd Paladins, which by no means would play this card. There's Even Paladin, which does run Dino size, so that's interesting. But this isn't an even card. It's 25 mana, so it's not going an Even Paladin. So we're gonna see this in some sort of style of maybe Control Paladin or some mid-range, maybe a mid-range Paladin revolving around buffs. Because the more times you play the buff, if you think of like, what is it? Like, I don't even know the card. It's like Bells and Whistles or something. And it has Echo and you can keep playing it. Maybe that fits in there. But super powerful card in itself. If you get this guy to cost 5 mana or less, I mean, by all means, this guy's going to be absolutely crazy. He's Divine Shield, so he's going to trade into a minion because he has a Rush. So he basically kills a minion the second he comes out, and you're going to heal 7 from that. So this, like, when this card is played, you're not only killing something, you're healing, and it's a 7/5. And it was cheap. So the card in itself, very good. If you can actually play this card, like the deck around, so this card is good, but is the deck this card fits in going to be good? That's another question. We'll have to see more Paladin cards being printed, but for now, that's my take on it. The card itself is good, but does the deck it fit into is good. Next card is the Spirit of the Shark. So as like I mentioned before, it's like Loa and like the troll leaders, and we just heard a woohoo because I, of course, didn't mute the thing from streaming, so every time someone follows, it's a woohoo. So if you don't follow me on Twitch, you can go do that now and the woohoo will come up. Just kidding, because this is already recorded. #sellout. 4 mana, 0/3 stealth for 1 turn. Your minions, battle cries, and combos trigger twice. Hello, Bronze Beard in the form of a shark inside of a totem for 4 mana, 0/3 stealth for 1 turn. So all of the spirits will have 0 attack, 3 health, and have stealth for 1 turn. The ability will change, and I'm pretty sure he mentioned that all of them do cost 4 mana, I think. But all the other abilities were correct. I just don't know the mana cost. But everything else stays the same, besides, of course, the ability. But the stealth for 1 turn, the 0 attack, 3 HP, blah, blah, blah. So, rogue card, I think this is pretty good. This looks like this is something you play in value rogue, any sort of control rogue, any sort of I mean, that's all the rogues I can think of right now. But I mean, I would play this. I mean, I don't know if it's any good. I play a lot of shitty decks, but I would definitely play this in one of my shitty decks. The fact that minions battle cries and combos trigger twice, I mean, it doesn't just say that for 1 turn. That's just period. So if you can continuously, I don't know if you can give this stealth. I know there's cards that do give stealth. Putting taunts in the way, or it just living for 1 turn. I mean, you play this for 4 mana and you drop, you know, an Elven Minstrel the next turn, and you draw 4 cards from your deck. I mean, that's absolutely insane. Battle cries trigger twice. So you're going SI Agent can deal 4 damage. I'm thinking Vile Spine Slayer, but you can't kill the same minion twice unless that's overkill, which is the new keyword. But we'll cover that in 2 cards from now. But I just thought I'd throw that in there. So overall, interesting card. Good stuff. A lot just. We've seen the whole battle cries and combos. I mean, battle cries mainly trigger twice. The combos is just kind of a rogue thing, but we've seen this card before. It's Brand Bronzebeard, but it's just not as good. So we know Brand Bronzebeard is good. So this is probably going to be good. Granted, it's not exactly the same, but it has stealth, which means it's almost guaranteed to live unless they have like cards like Hellfire or a Flame Strike. It doesn't even die to Blizzard, and you're playing this on turn 4 anyway, and Flame Strike's a 7 mana card. So, I mean, it does Hellfire. It does look good against this, but do you really want a Hellfire just to 0/3? I mean, you will, but it feels bad. So, we'll see. We will see faux shizzle. The next card we're going to look at is going to be the Shark Fin Fan, a 2 mana 2/2 pirate. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 pirate. Ooh. I mean, a 2 mana 2/2 isn't necessarily bad. And after your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 pirate. So we think of rogue, we think of druid, warrior. Their heroes attack almost every turn if able to. You know what I mean? If there's a minion to kill and they have a weapon, or they, even attacking face, it feels pretty good. And as we know, their rogue deck, very aggressive, so summoning pirates is good. For warrior, a lot of weapons, summoning pirates is good. Druid, not really so much, because druid, as we know, is more like a ramp, big minion combo based deck. So I doubt this will fit into druid as much as, maybe the rogue or warrior will. But overall, this is a pretty crazy small minion that has just reoccurring value. And there's how I normally rate cards is if you play a card and your opponent doesn't kill it, does that card just keep getting better and better and better and keep generating value to the point where it actually wins games? So for example, Flappy Bird or Vicious Fledgling, if that card just sits on the board for 1 or 2 turns and it attacks your opponent's face, you're probably going to win that game just from a 3. It costs 3 mana, and if it doesn't die in 2 turns, it's going to get Wind Fury. It's going to do all kinds of crazy shit, and you're dead. So does this card kind of follow the same path where if they don't kill this, it just keeps doing stuff? And the answer is yes. And it's really cheap minion. So as underwhelming kind of is what this card looks like at first. Like the ability to just keep summoning 1/1 pirates, whether it even be in arena, that this card is really good. This card isn't bad by any means. It's one of the stronger, default common cards that we've seen in, I think, a while, right? Besides obviously Giggling Inventor, but that got nerfed. So, I mean, I don't think this is an overwhelmingly powerful card, but is it absolutely dog shit that you just can't use it in any deck? No, I think it's a fair common card that shows, a lot of potential if it lives on the board. The next card, however, is going to go over one of the new mechanics, and I think the only new mechanic is going to be the Soul Thralls. Hopefully I said that correctly. 6 mana 4/4 weapon, looks cool AF. Coming in with the overkill, you may attack again. So what does overkill mean? It means if you damage a minion and you're over damaging it. So for example, if the minion has 1 HP, you deal 2 damage to it, or more than 1 damage to it. So for example, 2 damage. That means you overkilled the minion by 1 damage, therefore you may attack again. Granted, this has 4 attacks, so if you attack a 1 HP minion, you overkilled it for 3, but I like using simple numbers because I can't do math, and I don't deserve any sort of degree that I have. But besides that, 6 mana, 4/4 overkill me, attack again. So there was a weapon like this before, and it said this weapon can attack face, but it could attack minions as many times as it wanted. I don't remember the name of the minion or name of the weapon. It already rotated out a while ago. Fool's Bane, boom, thought of it, got it, cock locked and loaded. It was like a 5 mana 3/4, and it really didn't see that much play. And this is a 6 mana 4/4, so they've increased the mana cost by 1, but they also added an attack to it. And you have to overkill in order for this to actually make its attack. So this card is decent at killing like a relatively large quantity of mid-level minions. So like against Odd Rogue, this would be fantastic. I mean, you just keep smashing the minions, right? Gorehowl, I mean, that's what you compare it to, right? Because Gorehowl costs 7. I don't know. This is a hard one to base because it's contending with Super Collider. And Super Collider right now was rated as absolute dog shit, and the card's amazing. But Super Collider, like, I don't know. I just don't think this beats out Super Collider. And Super Collider costs 1 less mana. Granted, it has 1 less charge, and it kind of doesn't do the same thing. But it's just, you know, and on the scale of how good it is, I think Super Collider beats this out. Unless your opponent only has 1 minion on the board. But then again, you won't attack it anyway because it probably wouldn't die, depending on how big that minion is. So, I don't know. I don't think it's that good, but I think the overkill mechanic is cool. I'm sure they're going to be overkilling. There's going to be a couple minions that have overkill on them, and it's gonna be pretty annoying when they play that minion. It has rush, and it's just like overkill. Then all of a sudden you hear Kilimanjaro, and you're like, what the hell am I playing Halo 2? For those of you who've been around the scene for long enough to recognize that joke. So with that, that's everything that we have to cover. I think I wanted to mention 1 or 2 more things. Yes, there will be a solo mode. It does look pretty cool from what I've seen of the description. I haven't seen any gameplay of it, but you kind of go in there as a solo dude and you're trying to win this, you know, Gurabashi Arena challenge to become the champion. So you're going to be battling, you know, different kinds of bosses. There'll be, you know, the Loa and the spirits and all that good stuff. So very similar to the solo adventures that we've seen in the past, just making your way through. Besides that, of course, there's a pre-purchase. Is it worth it? I don't know. They're only giving you 50 packs for $50. You get a card back, and I think you get a shaman hero portrait. So if that's worth $50, oof, I don't know. And I don't even think you can use Amazon coins because it's not in the Hearthstone shop. It's actually on the Blizzard page. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to hold out and see. We're gonna have to see more cards before I drop my pre-purchase because you know, I hate dropping, you know, 2, 3, you know, 100 packs on an expansion where, like, if we look at the last one, Boomsday, I know this is off topic from what it is, but for those of you who want the best bang for your buck, for example, Boomsday Project, there's not a lot of decks that run the new cards, and if there are, it's like Zill, right? The one legendary little mech dude. So was it worth buying $100 worth of packs just to literally use 1 to 2 cards from the entire set? Probably not, right? It was best to literally just craft, you know, buy old packs or buy classic packs to get stuff maybe you didn't have yet, and then just use your dust to craft the Boomsday cards because you only needed a couple of them, and then you're good to go, right? So it's gonna be, I'm gonna wait on this expansion to see if there's cards that I actually like. If there's a large quantity of cards, like, oh, I've got to have that, But last expansion, it was like there wasn't a lot of gotta haves, and due to that, I bought way too many packs of that, and now I'm just sitting on a ton of dust, and I just ended up crafting like a bunch of gold cards. But the average casual player, they want the best bang for your buck. So I'll keep you guys updated on what I think, and then I might make like a pack video going over, you know, what packs to open and buy and best way to enhance your collection. Because last time I did that video was a little bit ago. But regardless, sorry, my small rant. Look forward to talking about new and upcoming cards with you guys, and hopefully this expansion is a little bit shinier and better than our last one, Boomsday. 'Cause no offense, that was a really flop of an expansion in the terms of just overall playability of it. So thank you for watching. Please, love to hear your feedback on this stuff. New expansions are an exciting time, and your guys' feedback means a lot, and it's also a nice read. So with that, thanks, and see you in the next video, and happy whatever the hell day it is.